Joining us from Israel is the Foreign Minister, Mr. Gideon Saar. Good to have you here at the Raisina Dialogue. It's been a busy time for you, I'm sure, and we've seen a lot of headlines coming in, the latest being that you've asked people in the southern suburbs of Beirut to evacuate, and there are pictures emerging. Yesterday we had an Iranian ship near Sri Lanka being torpedoed. Today, Azerbaijan was hit. Would you say that the war is expanding and escalating? And do you see Arab countries and Europe joining in the fighting?
Thank you for having me. Hezbollah decided some 3 days ago to join this war against the will and the interest of the people of Lebanon and the country of Lebanon, because clearly they had instructions from Tehran and they are serving Iranian interests and not Lebanese interests. So therefore, we need, of course, to act against them. They are, since then, launching missiles and drones against our population centers, mainly in the northern part of our country. And it is clear it is not going to be one-sided. It's not our main objective in this war. We are concentrated on Iran. But while we are decreasing the numbers of the missiles that are being shot on us from Iran, the numbers that are going up is the launching of missiles from Lebanon by Hezbollah. So it's clear we will react, but when we are reacting and when we are acting, we will do that towards Hezbollah objectives and not, very, very focused on that, including in the places we are acting in Beirut. With regard to other questions, indeed, Iran is acting very stupidly, attacking not less than 10 countries, all the Gulf states, I think, Cyprus, Azerbaijan, I think even Turkey. This is not sane because this regime is not sane. I cannot answer instead of other countries what they will do and in what way they will decide to respond. But it is clear that there is a huge rage all over the region against the Iranian regime.
The United States believes that this conflict will end in 3 to 4 weeks, although we hear about a different assessment every day. What is your assessment? How long do you think this will take?
I've heard lately President Trump speaking. It might be more than that. I don't think someone gave time limit, not us and not the United States of America. We are determined to achieve the goals of this operation. And we said, for us, we are going in order to remove, for the long run, existential threats from Iran. We don't want to go to a new war every year. This is not our purpose. But the problem is that we see after the war from June 2025, nothing had really changed. I mean, Iran is still with its elimination plan against Israel, continue with the nuclear program, continue with the long-range ballistic missiles program, continue to finance terror proxies like Hezbollah or Hamas or the Houthis in Yemen. So in order to get to remove existential threats for the long run, probably we will have to see a change in the regime in Iran. And it is, of course, we will not be able to do that by ourselves. It's the people of Iran that will eventually need to do that. But as much as we cannot do that without the people in Iran want to do that, they will not be able to do that probably without without any kind of help from outside, because we saw what happened when they tried to protest something like 2 months ago and butchered by the thousands and even more than that by this regime.
Did the protesters in Iran ask for help?
I think they begged for help from all the world. You saw that yourself. I believe that every human being saw that. And they were butchered in the streets. They were, by the way, butchered also in the hospitals. They were butchered in the prisons. It is horrible what went there. And it's not the first time, but this time it was maybe crueler than ever because the people were desperate than ever. So I would say it's now we can see, not only Israel, it is clear because they are calling publicly, they want to eliminate us and they are acting in order to do so. But they attacked also the Saudis, Qatar, the UAE, Azerbaijan and Cyprus. So it's a regime which is risking the whole Middle East and far beyond.
The stated goal of this operation, Mr. Minister, is regime change, as you also just mentioned. Ayatollah Khamenei is dead. His inner circle has been decimated. But the regime's grip on power has not visibly weakened, and Iran continues to fire. So what did Saturday's operation really achieve beyond triggering a wider regional war?
First of all, the goal of this operation, as I said, is to remove existential threats from the state of Israel for the long run. Probably we can achieve that goal as a mean by changing this regime. This change can be during the operation or after the operation. We must create the conditions for the Iranian people to do that. But I would say 5 days after the beginning of this war, it is probably too early to judge. And I think we had an amazing successes during these 5 days. But anyhow, we have enough patience in order to achieve our goals. We are determined to achieve our goals. And if you will ask me, I think that also the American administration is decisive.
The Indian Prime Minister was in Israel last week for a state visit just before you launched this attack. 2 days after his delegation departed, the US and Israel struck Tehran. Did you brief New Delhi or the Prime Minister's team before they left Israel that this operation was coming?
We have a great relations with Prime Minister Modi and with India, and we were able to deepen our ties. And we have now a great agenda for 2026, how to strengthen relations with India, which is the largest democracy on earth and also the fastest economy in the world. But we couldn't brief Prime Minister Modi on this on Thursday because the decision, we took it only on Saturday early morning. And that happened only after a failure of the negotiations between the US and Iran that took place on the same Thursday. So that's why it was simply impossible to do during this visit.
Some observers, especially in Israel, believe that a weakened Iran can reinvigorate the prospects of Saudi-Israel relationship. Do you believe the conflict creates an opening?
I think that a change in Iran will change all the region because a lot of things had changed for the bad ever since the Islamic Revolution took place at the end of the 70s of the previous century. And just take one state, like Lebanon, for example. Lebanon is now dragged into this war against its will only because there is a terror state inside the state of Lebanon. So they are not really sovereign and still being occupied by Iran. So if you don't have anyone to finance this terror state of Hezbollah, to train and so on and so forth, probably we will not have a lot of disputes with Lebanon. We have a minor border disputes. We don't have something real. The real only problem we have with Lebanon is Hezbollah. So I believe that if this regime will be changed, that will change a lot of other things in the region, and that will no doubt widen the camp of peace and normalization in the region. Will it include the Saudis or not? I really don't know. We had expectations in the past from the Saudis. They were not fulfilled, but we will see. But I'm sure that this camp will be widened.
Every conflict needs an endgame, and it may sound like a repeat of a previous question, but I want to ask you this. What is the exit strategy? Because your critics say that you went ahead and bombed, but you did not have a plan for the day after.
I think we have quite a good plan. But as you said, you are asking the same question. I might answer the same answer. The goal will be a regime change. The regime change will take place and will happen by the people of Iran. We should create the conditions to do that. Until now, this oppressive regime was so powerful, was so repressive, was so brutal that they didn't have the abilities to do that, even if a huge majority from the Iranian public inside Iran, and sometimes you can feel it also from the communities, Iranian communities outside Iran, even if they strongly support a change. So basically, this is the end game. But the end game will be written by the Iranian people.
The Indian nationals who are stranded in West Asia and want to leave but cannot because of flight disruptions, what is your message to their families?
Well, if your intention was about flights from and to Israel, we will gradually open our sky immediately, but it will happen gradually, and people will be able to go out, and Israelis will be able to come in, and this is going to start immediately, but it will take a couple of weeks or days, because we need to do that safely. The most important thing is to do that safely.
Minister Saar, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. All the best.